Okay, so, where was I? So the regular jelly rolls, just the regular ones with this, I think they're 06s. They're pretty good. I did this with those. So they're not, they're not nearly as tiny as the 0.38s, but they're still good. Okay, so back to the souffle. Now that is dry. Come on now. So that's what it looks like dry. Remember, this is kind of what it looked like wet. Right? Now, these are great for coloring. However, be aware that they are very opaque and they will cover up the lines of the drawing, and that makes me nuts. It may not bother you, and you may want to use it for some specific reason, but just be aware of that. And then let's see, I think last but not least on the jelly rolls are the what are these called? They're called something. Gold Stardust or Silver Stardust. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. But what they do is, Gold Shadow and Silver Shadow. That's what they're called. So, like for example, they write, so this one's orange. So it writes kind of a weird silvery goldy orange. Okay. And then you're going to see as it dries, it ends up having, this one's a Silver Shadow, so it ends up being silver with an orange ring around the outside. It's a little bit harder to see. I did a blue one too, so you can kind of see the blue one better. Here it is. So that's this blue Silver Shadow. And then there's gold shadows too. So those are super cool to use. Again, they will cover up your lines, so, use accordingly. Alright, so there's those. I also use Sharpies and just other kind of felt tip markers once I test to make sure I'm not going to get any bleed through. I use a lot of the Faber-Castell Pitt pens. I do like them a lot, and they usually don't have bad bleed through. They're really good pens, and they're also water soluble on certain papers. You can actually use them almost like a watercolor. I like those. I like the Lay Pen. You know what I'm talking about. La Pen, L-E-P-E-N. They bleed through pages bad, but I still use them some. Okay, so just for general actual coloring, I use Crayola Twistables. I love them so much. The colored pencils, not the crayons. There's a difference. The crayons are bigger and fatter. These are, they're more colored pencil texture, but they lay down a lot of color, and they're pretty small. You can get in some pretty small spaces with them, and they also blend really well. So like for example, like for leaves or something like that, I like to do okay, so I might do yellow veins in a leaf or something like that, and then come back with that, and it resists. They resist each other, so that's not the best example, but you see what I'm saying. You can get a good resist off of them. To do, like I said, for leaves or flowers or trees or stuff like that. So I like those a lot. And then I also use the Koh-i-Noor colored pencils. Woodless, of course, because, I hate a wooden thing. So I like these. These need to be sharpened terribly, but they're really good. They have really good color lay down. And they blend really well also with mineral spirits. I'll have to do a whole nother thing about that. About blending with those. But I don't really use those colored pencils, either the Twistables or the Koh-i-Noor ones, for itty bitty detail work. Okay, now, these are the big thing. These are the Pilot. These are the Pilot. Oh, gosh. One day I'm going to get my own, filmer. Okay, these are the Pilot High-Tech C, Mica, I don't know how to say that. They're 03s. I heard Shannon Green one time describe something similar as that it was like whitening with an eyelash. So, yeah, they are tiny, tiny, tiny points. And you can get some cool detail out of these. So let's focus on that. Come on, focus. All right, let me see if I can do this and film at the same time. Let me find where I am. Here we go. Okay. Well, it would help if I would get it going first. Hey, can you see that? Look at that. Tiny, tiny. My ink was not flowing. Now it's flowing. There we go. There we go. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Tiny. So, those are the bee's knees for the teeniest work. I think that is about it. I use these Stabilos a ton now for my spirographs. I'm into using these right now because they are water soluble and I can get some really super cool watercolor effects. I'm not using those for just coloring though. And white pens for coloring. So the Jelly Rolls do have a couple of whites. They have a white, just a regular Jelly Roll. There's a white souffle Jelly Roll. And then my go-to white pens are I know, I'm going to get arrested for like moving my camera around too much and making people sick. I use the Uniballs. The Uniballs, where are my Uniballs? I have a ton of them. Okay, here's the Signo. This is the Angelic Uniball Signo. Uniball Signo, the Angelic. This one has the finer tip. And then this one is just the regular Uniball Signo. These are the best whites I have found. They are water soluble, which I don't like. I wish they were permanent because sometimes I need that. But they are really opaque, really good coverage. They don't stink. So yeah, those are the white ones I use. And I think that's, oh, please excuse all the crapola on my desk. I mean, sometimes I just grab a highlighter if I want that color, cheapy markers, you know, whatever. I use whatever I have on hand. But anyway, okay, so there's my pen review. That's what I use for detail stuff. And let me know if you have any other questions. Have fun!